Months after Marquay the Goat's sudden death left fans searching for answers, the clearest public update has now been confirmed. Marquay Collins' death was ruled natural, and the cause was an enlarged heart. That matters, because when the story first broke, there was real public uncertainty about what had happened in the final weeks of his life. On November 26, 2025, Collins was back in headlines after his mother publicly announced that her son had died at just 24. If you want more celebrity updates and trending entertainment news delivered with verified facts, subscribe, like, and share to support Starline Daily. From the beginning, this was a story that hit fans hard, not only because of his age, but because of how active and visible he still was online right before the news broke. Collins had built an audience of more than 6.9 million followers on TikTok, where viewers knew him as Marquay the Goat. He was widely recognized for comedy and lifestyle content, and his last post went up on November 25th, just one day before his death was announced. That timeline made the news feel especially sudden for followers who had just seen him posting as usual. A day after his mother's announcement, the Muscogee County coroner publicly confirmed that Collins had been pronounced dead at his residence at 6:20 a.m. local time on November 26th. Early local reporting said emergency responders were called after he had difficulty breathing, and when medics arrived, he was found unconscious and unresponsive. At that stage, the cause of death had not been determined, and the case was still being investigated. That early uncertainty is a big reason this story stayed in public conversation. Before his death, Collins had been involved in a November 7th car accident in Atlanta. The coroner later said he had reported pain afterward, including headaches and discomfort in his neck, shoulders, and spine, and had also mentioned shortness of breath. Because those details became public while the case was still undetermined, many people assumed the crash might explain what happened next. But the final public update changed that picture. The later ruling said Collins' manner of death was natural, with an enlarged heart listed as the cause. In other words, the clearest confirmed finding did not match the earlier wave of public speculation that followed the accident. For viewers trying to understand the timeline, that is the most important fact to separate from the first round of reports. There is also a human side to this story that explains why it resonated so widely. His mother's public tribute described him as kind, loving, and deeply cherished by his family. Fans responded in the comments of his last post and across social media with tributes of their own, remembering the humor and energy he brought to his videos. What made Collins stand out was not just his reach, but the sense of familiarity he created with the people who watched him every day. His death was later marked publicly in Columbus, where loved ones and supporters gathered to remember him. That broader response underlines something important about creator culture today. Even when someone rises through short-form video, the connection can feel deeply personal to millions of viewers. And when a death is sudden, the demand for answers can move just as fast as the grief. As of now, the clearest public update is that Marquay Collins died of natural causes, with an enlarged heart identified as the cause of death. What remains with many fans is not the early confusion, but the memory of a young creator whose life and online presence reached millions in a very short time. Thank you for supporting Starline Daily and for approaching stories like this with care and respect.